I've got some unreleased footage I wanted to show you from a clip that was never released. It was supposed to be titled, "What's Emily Up To?" Hi, my name is Jack Phoenix. My favorite thing to talk about is my spouse, Emily. I've always said she needs to be world famous and in charge of everything. And she's always said that's her worst nightmare. So I'm definitely in the doghouse for posting this video. We have a spare bedroom, by the way. She's a church worker, for those of you who don't know. She's at this great little congregation out here in Maryland. It is like a great fit for her. Normally for like her 10-year anniversary in ministry, churches would like make a big deal with like cake or whatever. And this one was just like, you don't really do that. But did you say sabbatical? Because we will definitely fundraise our butts off for you. Send you on this once in a lifetime trip out to the Holy Land. When you get back from the Middle East, we'll look at all your pictures, listen to you talk endlessly about it, and Sunday school lessons and confirmation lessons and, you know, young adult gatherings, anytime you have the attention of a room. And she was all about it. So she gets back from the Middle East. She's got 4 Sundays in a row where she doesn't have to be at church. This girl, I call her a professional Christian. She's Christian for a living. Like, if you ask these Christians, like, what they're all about, they're going to tell you, like, you know, concern for the poor and caring for the sick and looking out for the vulnerable. And it's like, that's her whole job description. Superstorm Sandy hit out here, devastated some nearby neighborhoods. And there's Emily organizing a mission trip to go find these old retired folks and put their homes back together. That kind of stuff. So she finally gets 4 Sundays in a row where she doesn't have to be at church. And I'm thinking, yo, that's 4 Saturday nights where she gets to stay up late finally. That's 4 Sunday mornings where she doesn't even have to set an alarm. 4 Sundays where she finally doesn't have to go to church. And you know what she did? She got all excited. She's thinking, oh, 4 Sundays where I finally get to go to church. She had like a dozen congregations she wanted to visit for fun. Like, I probably shouldn't say this, but you don't even really have to pay her to do her job. The truth is, you can't really stop her from doing her job. Whether she's on the clock or not, this just... take it from me, it's what this girl does. It's what her whole life is about. I mean, it's how we met. I was working at a homeless shelter at the time and doing volunteer work, and like all it took was a serious commitment to giving back to my community, and I couldn't stop running into this girl. This was supposed to be part of a campaign for Emily to keep her job when her boss back in May started in earnest trying to fire her. He's been difficult to work with in all sorts of small, forgivable ways. He lacks like basic office skills, but that just makes him a bummer of a colleague, not anything outstanding. Dealing with a difficult boss is so common, it's boring. Then Emily started getting complaints that other people are seeing what she was seeing. I have no idea what he was posting online, but it was bad enough where people would approach her and she had to approach him several times privately to talk about it. And that's when he started saying all sorts of weird racist stuff, talking about Asian privilege or Hawaiian privilege that has harmed his white family somehow. First of all, privilege isn't a thing that's harmful. It's awesome, and everyone should have it. There's no glass ceiling for men because male privilege protects us. The problem is that it doesn't protect women. Like, if you're complaining about privilege that racial minorities have, you're saying that they're treated a little too white? Like, how stupid. So she tries to introduce this topic to like the board of the church. They call it the council. Here, read this letter. It's from MLK. It's addressed to the clergy. The result of all of that? Well, here he is inventing a whole new level of racist. I mean, I've heard of Holocaust deniers, but Tulsa massacre deniers? Like, I've genuinely not heard something new from a racist since learning the slurs for white girls that degrade themselves with miscegenation. And where exactly is this discussion? Because there's more, by the way, and it gets worse. Well, it's hidden by a random church member, another confidant who's happy to protect his secrets, happy to bury them, and make sure that the guy who said he couldn't be a carrier for COVID because he takes a lot of zinc, he never gets any questions about his, position as a leader, someone with moral authority. I just can't with these. Well, I've been keeping Emily's secrets. The therapy that she's needed because of all of this. The hives, the loss of sleep, just the lifestyle changes. Every evening, she has to shut her phone off at a certain time, or else she's in danger of getting another text or another email, and then there goes her last chance of getting sleep that night. We had to schedule recovery periods after each of her work days, which is increasingly difficult because hobbies don't interest her anymore. You can't drag her out to run anymore. Emily Phoenix, you can't drag her out to run anymore. So she went to the district for help. Emily's well known amongst the leadership in the Southeastern District. Emily's well known nationally. Running national quarterly publications, running part of the national youth group, being asked to coach at a prestigious continuing ed program. That's all the stuff that she's just said no to. That's the stuff that she no longer has time to do. That was stuff that she could do before a former professor who's now a board member at CTA approached her to write her first book. And that was all the stuff that she had time to do before the district approached her. Emily, you're so good at what you do. You make your job look so easy and fun. Please teach the rest of us because we're struggling. We need you to join this ad hoc committee on church worker self-care. Please teach us to be as good as you are at this part of the job. That was all the stuff that she had time to do before her national professional organization, who had previously awarded her as the very best of them, said, please join our board. Emily, we need you to help steer the future of DCE ministry itself. In the 10 years that I've known Emily, I've watched her get fired for marrying me, instructed to break the law, offered intern level pay, except for the benefits offered to other called workers at her organization, and just otherwise treated like she was disposable. So surely the Southeast District can help, right? I mean, if anyone could appreciate her sheer dedication to her craft, her commitment to her ministry, the decades of ministry left in her. If anyone could look at this award-winning, highly sought after, once-in-a-generation talent and want to keep her in the district, surely it would be the leadership, right? On Friday, she found out that she had previously sought a peaceful release and that she was no longer going to get paid, which is weird because all she had agreed to was to listen to a severance offer. Her racist boss managed, good for him, to convince the board or whatever, the council, to offer her a fat severance package. He can't fire her, so he needs her to agree to leave. So he was like, well, would you be willing to at least listen to a severance offer? And when she said yes, they were like, cool, let's set a meeting. And can we talk about a sample resignation letter? Except instead of a meeting, she just got this, well, I'm going to call it an offer. Emily is wrecked right now. She is shattered. It's why I'm talking to you right now and not her. Because she's in the house crying, wailing. She is screaming in agony. She says her heart is so broken. She's in physical pain. She can speak for herself, and maybe she will, maybe she won't in her own time, because she doesn't owe anyone anything anymore. Galilee really is one of the best places and in the best district, which is why Emily has lost her very last shred of faith in Lutherans. She's going to accept this offer of, please just go away. And she's leaving the LCMS. She's not looking for other calls. She's no longer a DCE. She's renouncing her commission as a minister of the Lutheran Church entirely. So what now? What's next? Nothing. Emily becomes another former DCE, exploited and then kicked out. It's how DCE careers end. She's just a Another inspiring former DCE that I guess lost touch with. Yeah, Just another loss to the problems that everyone knows about. What about the church? What about all these people that she's worked with over the last several years, guided through all sorts of transitions and growth periods and devoted her life to? She's not getting any goodbyes. They're not going to start worrying about her now. Her boss, who wrote letters saying that as clergy he could deputize people to be exempt from Maryland state law, gave him these letters, said, here, carry this in your car in case you're ever caught criming, you just give this to the cops. Yeah, he's going to keep his job. Not only is he going to keep his job, it won't even be a discussion. Literally, the question won't even be raised. Her church family is going to show up tomorrow morning, have a nice indoor service, sing extra loud next to the preschool where they're raising their 100% straight little boys and girls and telling them that the little girls can't really be pastors because they're spiritually inferior. I mean, don't trust me, look it up. It's on their website. They're really not shy about it. And everyone in Galilee who knows what Emily's been going through, what she's been struggling with, is just going to continue to be quiet about it, keep it a secret, make sure that everything goes back to normal and they have a nice, quiet, undisrupted church. No one's going to care that she's gone. No one's going to care why she's gone. Ever find out anything, all that needs to be said is, oh my gosh, her husband said some mean things on the internet. In fact, he was doing some name calling. He said someone was racist. And no one's going to care about Emily. That's what happens next. That's what happened before. No one's going to change.